Please work this time. Please. Hi guys, I'm Leanne and I'm bringing you something a little bit different with my wrap up today. I've seen a lot of people on BookTube do this, where instead of doing monthly wrap ups, they do... Snuggy! Stop being a distracted asshole! Where was I? Where instead of doing monthly wrap ups, they do it book by book. So I've decided that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully it'll give me more time to talk about the books in depth, and because I have a terrible memory problem, hopefully it will stop me from forgetting important details. And yeah, I'm kind of really excited for this, so hopefully it goes well. Without further ado, I'm going to talk about book 16. And that is the second book in the Gormenghast trilogy by Mervyn Peake, which is called Gormenghast. For me, Gormenghast is genre-defying. I don't quite know what bracket to put it under. Sometimes I think gothic. I think it was described as gothic, but I don't really know what the gothic genre entails, so I'm hesitantly saying gothic. So these books are about Gormenghast Castle, the people that surround it, the outer dwellers, and the people inside, and also the elves of Groan who look after the castle and complete these silly rituals almost daily. And they do this just because they're rituals that they're supposed to happen. And in the first book, the Countess gives birth to Titus, the 66th Earl of Groan, and the second book is all about him and what it's like for him to grow up in this world. And I just really enjoyed this book. It's very heavy, the writing's very dense, and sometimes it was a hard slog to get through. There are a few certain scenes, like a party scene where Irma Prunesqualler, who is the doctor's sister, is looking for a husband, and she invites all of the professors and the headmaster of Groan, and I just thought it wasn't a necessary scene. You had so many other scenes that were so important. This just felt like a filler scene, so that was my only complaint. My favourite parts were just Titus warring against the fact that he is the Earl of Groan and he doesn't want to be. He wants to be free and be free from these weird rituals and be like all the other boys, and he knows he can't. So I liked that. I also liked Pike, who is the villain of the story. He's a little shit, and yeah, that's putting it politely. But I love him because he just brings that much needed danger and vileness to the book. I mean, it doesn't need more vileness. The book's pretty dark as it is, but he's just like the embodiment of all that darkness, and I loved it. I was very satisfied with the ending. The ending, I won't spoil it, but I'm excited for the next book. It sort of sets up what's going to happen in the next book, and hopefully it won't take me as long to get to. The first book I read 2 years ago, and this one obviously I've read recently. I read it at the end of March. Well, I started it at the end of March and it took me till about the middle of April to read, maybe just a little bit later, just because it is so dense. But yeah, I really enjoyed this and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So you might be thinking, oh Leanne, you know, you wanted to keep it short, but you're talking about 23, 16, 23 books in this wrap up, and this is why, because it's the Scott Pilgrim series by Bryan Lee O'Malley, and these are really quick to get through. It didn't take me long. I think I read them all in about 3-4 days. And I've been wanting to reread the series for a while, but I've never gotten around to the 6th book, so I thought I should do that considering my boyfriend bought it for me. This is a graphic novel comic series. I'm not quite sure what the difference is. If anybody knows, please comment below, because I'm a novice, I'm a newbie, I don't know. And this series is about a guy called Scott Pilgrim, and he's a bit of a screw up basically. He lives in a 1-bedroom apartment with his best friend who's gay, and they share the same bed. He doesn't have a job. Literally his band is the only thing going for him, and it kinda sucks. He's dating a high schooler and he's still not really over the girl he dated 2 years ago. And then he meets this other girl called Ramona, and he's a little bit obsessed with her, but in order to date her he has to defeat her 7 evil exes. And that's basically the story, the series. I mean, you know, this, I love the art style. It's, why can't I speak? So the series is definitely hilarious. The first time I read them, I gave them 5 stars, but I've sort of dropped stars for all of them just because there was a few problematic words that I didn't really like, and you know, the fact that Scott's dating a high schooler and everyone kind of, you know, jokes about it and they're like, oh Scott, you know, get a life, but it's not really tackled the issue that it's kind of wrong considering he's what, 24 and she's 17? So that was a bit of an issue for me, but the sense of humour holds up. It's fantastic. I love books with a sense of humour. I mean, what can I say about Scott Pilgrim? I mean, if you've seen the it's a film, Leanne. That's the word that you're trying to look for. If you've seen the film adaptation, then you'll know, you know, what kind of sense of humour and the film is pretty similar to the books. There are a lot of lines that have been taken directly from the books, and that was fantastic for me because I'd read some of these lines in the voices of the actors. That was just tops for me. So like I said, I gave them all 4 out of 5 stars. The 6th book is the one that I hadn't read before, and it was alright. It was a good ending. It was that you know, ride off into the sunset kind of ending, which was nice. And yeah, it was an average ending. I didn't think, yes, oh, thank God. And I didn't think, oh God, that was terrible. Wow. It was just a, I guess, meh ending, average ending. So yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with that. Okay, and the last and 23rd book on my list is The King's Men by Nora Sakovic. This is the 3rd and final book in the All for the Game trilogy. I'm not going to give you my thoughts on it because I'm going to do a review of the whole trilogy, so look out for that. But I did give it 3 out of 5 stars, so obviously not as good as the previous books, but still pretty good. I mean, you know, it was a nice ending, one of those ride off into the sunset kind of moment endings, but yeah, well, I'll let you know my true thoughts, yeah, later on. So that was my wrap up of books 16 to 23. Almost forgot them. If you want to talk about any of the books, comment below because I'd love to hear about it. If you've got any constructive criticism, I'd love to hear that too because I'd love to hear from you guys. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be doing some more of these. Hopefully this is successful. I feel it's a lot better. I mean, I'm trying not to ramble, but I still ramble. But anyway, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you're having a good day, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye guys!